Hey there guys, D-Gamer here, and welcome to another video here on the channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Call of Duty World War II. Basically, in this video I'm just going to be talking about the multiplayer game modes and the Nazi zombie game modes, and also the weapons that we know of that are going to be in Call of Duty World War II. Now, we don't know if these weapons are going to be in the multiplayer also, but we do know that these weapons will be in the campaign. So, with that being said, let's get straight onto it. So, first of all, we're going to start out with the multiplayer game modes. So, I'm here on, I believe it's the Call of Duty World War II Wikia, which I know some of this information may not be true, but some of it is. But anyways, multiplayer elements coming in Call of Duty World War II include War. This narrative-driven mode brings a gripping new layer of excitement to Axis versus Allies team play. Now, the game modes that I'm going to be talking about is also the game modes that Michael Condrey was talking about during the reveal earlier yesterday. So, he was talking about War a little bit, and basically that sounds like one of the game modes out of Battlefield 1, which should be pretty interesting in Call of Duty. I don't think I've ever seen a game mode like that in Call of Duty, but if we haven't, then that's actually pretty cool. So the next one is Divisions, a new approach to create a class and character customization as the player enlists in a division and progress through the ranks. So basically that's like your normal online Call of Duty multiplayer that we have in pretty much every Call of Duty game. It doesn't really sound too different, but yeah, so, and the last one is Headquarters, a brand new social feature for Call of Duty where the player can rally and interact with fellow soldiers. Now, if you guys didn't watch my last Call of Duty World War II video, in there I mentioned about the Headquarters. Michael Condrey actually mentioned that, and they actually showed a little clip of it during the live stream, and it actually looked pretty cool. And basically it's just like a big lobby to where you can interact with other Call of Duty players in the Call of Duty community and just things like that. And it also says the game introduces Headquarters, a special lobby where players can interact with one another before an actual multiplayer game. So to me, that's starting to sound like something out of like H1Z1, if you guys haven't played that, which, to be honest, I haven't either. But if you guys haven't seen gameplay on it, at least, you would know, or you wouldn't know, but there's like a little pre-game lobby to where you can just do whatever the heck you want before the match actually starts. And so that's basically what that's sounding like to me. Now, moving on to the Nazi zombies. When the reveal trailer was released on April 26, Sledgehammer Games separately teased an image for Nazi zombies. Activision described the mode as an all-new cooperative mode featuring a unique standalone storyline set during World War II that's full of unexpected adrenaline-pumping action. And then it also says Glenn Schofield, if I'm saying that wrong, sorry, co-studio head of Sledgehammer Games, describes it as the Third Reich's desperate attempt to create an army in the final stages of the war. So, in my last video, that's what I was talking about with the Nazi zombies, and I was saying how it kind of relates to the Black Ops 3 zombie game mode in Black Ops 3, where it had its own different storyline, and it was actually pretty cool. I played a little bit of it, but I never really got through all of it. But from what I've played, it seems really cool, and like I said in my last video, if it's done right, it can be a great game mode. And you know, even if this wasn't what the zombie community expected, it could be a good game mode and get, you know, the zombie community to actually accept it if they already haven't. But anyways, that is all for the game modes. Now, I'm moving on to the weapons, so I'm going to be showing them on screen as I say them. So first is the Thompson submachine gun. It says the Thompson was first seen in the initial reveal announcement as Activision changed their Call of Duty login page. And you guys can see a picture of it here, and it's basically Call of Duty's Tommy gun. Is an infamous edition in every version it's been featured in. And so the picture that I'm showing on screen isn't the picture that's on the website, because unfortunately I couldn't download those images, but I did get accurate pictures of what the weapons actually looked like during that time period. So I tried to make it as close as I could, which from what I see they actually look the same. All the guns look the same to the images that I downloaded. So the next one is the Kar98K, and if you guys haven't played any of the older Call of Duties, like the PS2 Call of Duties, you probably wouldn't know the Kar98K, but the Kar98K is, as an effective German bolt-action rifle, no World War II game feels complete without it. The Kar98K was shown for just a second in the trailer, but was shown in greater detail during the behind-the-scenes footage. And they're showing some behind-the-scenes footage in this picture, but again, I couldn't download the pictures on this website, so I'm not able to show you guys that. But as you can see on screen right now, this is a Kar98K from World War II. And so I'm moving on to the M1918 bar. Though heavily used in World War II, the bar was not straight up shown during the reveal, but was seen at various angles throughout the trailer. Its unique barrel separates it from most other World War II weaponry and will reappear in Call of Duty World War II. And basically, in the picture that they show on the website, it's basically the part in the trailer where we see the team that we are going to be on in the campaign standing, looking up at the sky, and it shows some angles of a Bar 98 or a M1918 bar. I was about to say Bar 98K, but that was a Kar98K. Anyways, and it says the soldier on the far right is holding the bar, which you guys can't see that, but on screen you can see what the bar actually looks like from that time period. And so the next gun is the M1 bazooka. It says, shown in development footage of COD World War II, the bazooka should come as no surprise. There might not always be vehicles to point at it, but there was fun with using it on random enemies. And so basically the picture they show on here, since it wasn't actually shown in the trailer, I don't believe, they actually show a picture of them creating it on the computer, and well, whenever they were developing it. And so that is actually pretty cool. And so the next gun is one of my favorite guns from World War II. It's actually the M1 Garand. Now, it's not spelled G-R-A-N-D, it's G-A-R-A-N-D, which I always thought it was grand as in G-R-A-N-D. But no. So, of all the World War II weapons, the M1 Garand is a unique and surprisingly fitting for shooters. Hearing the M1's ping when emptied is personally extremely satisfying, and that it is. Whenever I played the older Call of Duties, whenever I would get the M1 Garand, that would have been my favorite gun in that game. Like, whenever I played Call of Duty 2, the big red one, whenever they had the M1 Garand, and Call of Duty 3 on PS2, that was always, like, my favorite gun in that game, along with the MP40. And so the next gun is the MG42. We may see this weapon available in the multiplayer, though it may only be available as a terrain fixed edition on some maps. So the MG42 is basically an LMG during that time, and I kind of wish it would be in the multiplayer. It doesn't exactly say if it is or if it isn't, but if it's like terrain fixed, that means it's going to be like on a mount, like you see in Modern Warfare Remastered or even Modern Warfare. So, I mean, that would be cool. But then again, I don't really think people would have been able to carry that gun, and you guys can see what it looks like on the screen right now. So, the next gun is the M1903 Springfield. When playing as a sniper in Call of Duty World War II, you should expect to unlock the M1903 Springfield at some point. The Springfield rivals the Kar 98K in appearances in video games. So, I believe in previous COD games, they had Springfields and they had Kar 98Ks. Like in the old PlayStation 2 Call of Duties, I would sometimes get the Kar 98K and the Springfield mixed up, I should say, because they always look the same, and the only way I could tell them apart is by their, by the name that it shows before you pick it up. And so the last gun that we have information on is the Grease Gun, officially named the M3. The gun uses .45 caliber rounds, just like the Thompson. The Grease Gun was cheaper to produce and lighter, but was not as accurate. So I believe from what I heard, the Grease Gun is actually, I believe it is kind of like a, I guess you could say, variant of the MP40. But then again, it might just be a smaller, more compact version of a Thompson. And so, it says below it, not all of these weapons will be available in the multiplayer, though everything should be included in the single-player campaign, as I said before. And so, basically, that's all I have, or that's all the information I have on the game modes and the weapons. And if you guys want to go ahead and pre-order Call of Duty World War II for Xbox or PlayStation or PC, I know it's on the PlayStation Store, I'm sure it's on the Xbox Store, and I'm sure it's on Steam, but, you guys can go ahead and pre-order that, and the original version is, of course, $60, and the Digital Deluxe Edition is $100, and I don't exactly have money to pre-order it now, but whenever I do, I'm definitely pre-ordering this, even though there's months before it even comes out, but I am going to pre-order it so I can actually have access to the beta whenever it comes out. And if you guys want to see some Call of Duty World War II beta gameplay, just leave a comment down below saying we want to see the Call of Duty World War II beta, or just say World War II beta. But anyways, guys, that's all the time I have for this video. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to subscribe to the DGamer channel for more videos like this and more. And if you guys want to see some more Call of Duty World War II videos here on the channel, make sure you hit that like button and comment down below. But anyways, guys, with that being said, I will see you in the next video. See ya.